Hey y'all, it's been a little bit of time since I did a vlog. I wanted to talk about anxiety today. I struggle with anxiety. A lot of people do. I always thought that the way I was living my life, always playing out the A to Z scenarios in my head to prepare me for whatever the outcome was the right thing to do. That's no way to live. It's very, very exhausting. I recently realized, unfortunately, and I'm sad about this. But it's being self-aware is the first step to it, I guess. But I feel ridiculous that my anxiety sometimes is brought on by my lack of being able to control situations. And a lot of that comes from being impatient or getting frustrated when you are trying to tell somebody to do something and you know you're directing them correctly, and then they're not doing it that way, and it's just so frustrating. And for whatever reason, that just makes my anxiety go through the roof. And it's really hard to explain to somebody that has never experienced anxiety what that's like. It's just, for me, like when I'm in the middle of going through something like that, it's really difficult for me to come back down to reality. You can't see, what is it, that saying, you can't see the forest through the trees or whatever. I get completely tunnel vision. It takes over. Sometimes my behavior is bad. I can get to be a little bit of a jackass. I can snap at people. It is no fun. It's not a good way to live. It's also not a good way to treat people. And sometimes I do feel bad because I feel like I at times use it as a crutch, or maybe it comes off that I'm using it as a crutch. I'm not attempting to. I'm just trying to be outspoken, make people aware. I think the whole having a mental illness is not the taboo that it once was. I think it's more widely accepted. I don't think that there is too much of a negative connotation associated with it as much as there used to be. I got on my meds probably about 6 or 7 months ago. I had a really bad break at work, mental break at work. Not one of my finest hours. I knew something was very wrong with me when everything was setting me off. I had absolutely no control over my emotions. I felt fragile. I felt very unstable. I felt like I needed to be thrown into a padded room with a straitjacket. I felt like I was losing my mind, and I needed to get back into control, so to speak. And within a matter of days, I was prescribed 10 milligrams of Lexapro. I got very, very lucky that the first dosage worked. Unfortunately, it only worked for a couple months because shortly after I went on the medication. Well, it did help tremendously. I mean, it has changed my life so much. I got engaged a couple months after I initially started the medication, and planning a wedding and the financial burden of realizing said wedding set me off into another tailspin. So the doctor upped my medication to 15 milligrams, and that has worked very, very well. I haven't had any episodes for a good while. Between the time of my last episode and the episode I had this morning, that's when I started realizing about the control thing. And when I tell people about this trigger, they giggle because they're like, oh, I could have told you that. And it's easy to hear that from somebody, but until you realize it for yourself, it does you no good. I mean, I remember my now husband basically scaring me straight and telling me that he wasn't sure that he was going to be able to do this with me because my anxiety was getting so bad. And he lives with me. I mean, we live together, and there's no one in this world more than him that saw those struggles day in and day out. And I got, a year before I went on the medication, he did say something to me, and I got extremely angry. And I think at that point it was a denial. I got very, very angry because I just felt like, oh, that lovely, I need to be medicated for you to be with me. And I was very, very angry and so resentful and so hurt that he would say something like that. I got over it. But then right around the time that I had the episode that triggered me going to the doctor, I made that comment to him again. And he too has his own struggles with depression and anxiety. And it wasn't until he made the comment to me about, well, let's see how much fun it is for you to be with me when I'm not on my meds. That really sunk in, because the entire time we've ever been together, I've never seen him get that way, or how he can get. I mean, he talks about it all the time. And so, as much as I didn't like the tough love the first time he said that, and as much as I didn't like the tough love the second time he said that, I'm extremely grateful to him that he spoke up. And the response to me being on meds has been overwhelmingly positive. All the time, he's always saying, like, oh my gosh, like, to everybody. We're very vocal about dealing with what we deal with on a daily basis. And, he will tell people, oh my gosh, oh, it's like night and day. My family is incredibly grateful for me being on medication. I know my coworkers are, because it is absolutely no fun to deal with me when I'm having an episode. But I just want to say to all those people out there that are suffering, listen to yourself, listen to your family, listen to your friends. You owe it to yourself. If you're not feeling right and you feel like something's wrong, talk to your doctor. Because medication like that can really, really help you. And I know way too many people in my personal life that are so far into denial about what's going on, and everybody else around them has to suffer through having them in their lives. Not that it's a bad thing, but it's exhausting. it's exhausting living that way. And it's also exhausting for those people that are around you. And you need, you need to look out for, number one, yourself, obviously, but you also need to consider the heck that you're putting everybody else through. And there's no shame in getting medication. Something is off in your body, and so you need to take something to, help you through that. And I can honestly say within a matter of 3 or 4 days, I felt completely different. I could not believe where I was, at that point, 4 days into medication, to where I was 4 days prior. It is astonishing to me how much this medication has helped me. I don't ever want to go back to feeling that way. Absolutely not. That is no way to live. And I don't have the worst anxiety, but I do. And my heart breaks for those that are on numerous medications and still have to deal with these daily struggles. It's no way to live. And for all those people that are struggling, my heart goes out to you. And I just hope that things will get better for you. But I don't know if anybody's going to watch this, and I don't know if this is going to help anybody, but I wanted to try and pick a neutral topic because there's so many other topics we could be talking about, or I could be talking about, but I don't want to create a crap storm, so to speak. But you're not alone if you're going through this. And I know medication is not for everybody, but if medication is not the answer for you, I do hope anybody that's suffering will do their research and find alternate means to help them. So that is all I have to say about this topic. Thank you for tuning in and listening. I am going to brainstorm on some more topics so I can put out some more videos. But thank you for your time, and if this helps anybody, great. So, alrighty, time to go. Bye.